Is one of my favorite days because I love photos and movies. So we're going to talk about iPhotos first, and I'm not even going to do the presentation here. I'm just going to kind of go here. Let me just kind of talk a little bit about what we're going to do, the agenda here. We're going to talk about using the camera and the Photos app, organizing your content into albums, how to edit photos. I've got some great apps to edit photos, sharing photos, how you will share photos, and then how to store photos, and then how to search for photos. And we might actually do the searching part before some of this other stuff. So let me connect again to this here, and I'm going to have to be stuck over here. But let me show you the
iPads
photos.
to borrow. Do you guys have a cart that you can
We
borrow?
do have a card. Does anybody know?
Now this is also, yes, if you have an iPhone,
Oh, it's
all
right
of
there.
this stuff is the same.
Thank you.
So your photos, let's see if it'll come up. Please come up. Try this again. Jenny, it just worked just a few minutes ago. There you go, there it was. She was she saw it. So the Photos app, I have mine down on this bottom. By the way, if you want, you can organize this part down here so that you can make this the stuff that you use the most.
Really?
Yes, let me show you how to do that really quickly. All you have to do is click and hold, just hold one of the apps until they start wiggling. We've all done that before, right? So I don't want YouTube on down there. Maybe I want something else down there. Maybe I want Photo Booth down there. I just grab Photo Booth and I just move it down there. You can only have a certain amount, and I can't remember, it might be 6 is the max. But you can put the things that you use the most down on your bottom dock. And then you can find them more easily.
How do you unwiggle them again?
So then you just hit the home button.
Oh.
So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Photos, which I happen to have on my bottom dock. And you can see that I've got all these albums here. Up at the, let's see, down at the bottom, there's 3 different buttons. One is Photos, one is Shared, and one is Albums. I think it always usually defaults to Albums. And so these are the albums that you automatically get with Apple. They'll always have your camera roll, and those are all the pictures that are actually stored on that device. And then if you delete something from your camera roll, it's gone. So even if you create other albums and put pictures into albums, and you want to delete them from your camera roll, don't do that, because if you do that, they'll be gone from the whole iPad. Okay? So what?
It's like a backup of all of it.
It is. It's kind of like where all your pictures are stored. And so I wouldn't have kids necessarily get into the camera roll. I would actually have them create albums, store their stuff in an album, and then you can find their stuff, they can find their stuff more easily. So then my photo stream, and I can't tell you for sure if this is turned on or off on the iPad carts, but my photo stream is like 1,000 pictures, and it's all the latest pictures that you've taken. So I have my photo stream hooked up with my phone and my Mac at home. So if I download from my camera onto my Mac pictures, they automatically come into my photo stream. So when I go out hiking or something and have my little camera with me, not my phone, but my camera, download them onto my computer, then I have them in my photo stream, and then I can show them off to whoever I want to. So it's a really nice little feature, but it only saves like the last 1,000. So if I had all my pictures from New Zealand on there from last year, they're all gone now because I've taken too many pictures and it's kicked them out of my photo stream. Does that make sense? Favorite, oh, go ahead.
With my photo stream, is that an iCloud that you decide to share it with all your devices?
Yes, it's in settings, and actually,
Okay.
let me just show you really fast in settings. So we're gonna go to settings now, and I'm gonna go down here to Photos, right there, Photos and Camera. And right here, you can turn this on or off, and that's like I said, I don't know on the iPad cart if this is turned on or off. I actually have my iCloud photo library turned off, and here's the reason why. iCloud only will store a certain amount of stuff, and I think then if you go over, then they want you to pay. So I don't use the iCloud yet. I have to get my life in order before I start using the iCloud library. And I think that PhotoStream is actually gonna be kind of merged into this iCloud photo library. I think they're gonna both be, that's gonna be one and the same at one point. But right now, they're separate. So I have my PhotoStream turned on. So if you have a Mac or an iPhone, you can turn that on or off. It's up to you. And then here's your iCloud photo sharing, turn it on or off. And you can see some of the other things that you can do here in your photo and camera. So let's go back to photos. So then you also have a new thing on the new one called selfies, which, yeah. And that's what, these are all created by Apple. So they the Apple figures out that you've taken a selfie and boom, it goes into your little selfie folder. And you don't want to, I don't think it'll let you get rid of these albums. Panoramas, my iPad won't take panoramas. The newer ones will. My iPhone does, and that's where all my panoramas come from, is from my iPhone. And then it also takes all your videos, puts all your videos in one place. It automatically found my screenshots, because I take a lot of screenshots. And we all remember how to do a screenshot? Screenshots, really important. If I want to take a screenshot, you just use the on-off button at the top and the home button, and you hit them at the same time, just like, boom. There it is. And now you can see in my camera roll what my last picture was. It's that screenshot. Screenshots are really important because a lot of people will say, how do I print this? I can't print this. Because we don't have any printers that are hooked up to this. And by the way, I just suggested that maybe we buy an AirPrint printer for each iPad cart. We'll see where that goes, but that's my suggestion. So anyway, you can have them take a picture of the screen, email it to you, and then you can see what they've done or whatever instead, and then you can print it off from your computer or something. So, okay, so video screenshots. Last import. This one kind of is confusing to me because this last import was from us at the Grand Canyon like 5 years ago. So I don't know why that's still showing that.
It's your last important picture.
I guess. I also have an app on my iPad called YouTube Capture. So all the ones that I took with YouTube Capture went in there. All of my Sketch, remember we talked about Sketch? They all go into their own folder. I took a class, so that's that. These, I created these. Pic Collage, I don't believe I did. I think it might have automatically done that. And then Dropbox, I have some that are in Dropbox as well. So you can create a new album. Up on the top left, there's a plus sign. If I hit that little plus sign, it'll come up with a new album. I can enter a name for the album. So let's just
I have
call
a
this.
question about that. Connie,
Sure.
real quick. If you make a new album and you put pictures from all photos in there, can you then delete?
No, you can't. Because if you delete them from your
All
camera
photos?
roll, I believe they're gone.
But what about the all photos? I know the camera
the
roll.
all photos. Oh, no, that's still
Is
gonna
that
be.
the same thing?
Yep, that's,
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So let me just call this test. I'm gonna click the save button. And then, now it's asking me add photos. So now I can go ahead and find my photos that I wanna add. And I'm in here, and let me do all my Halloween photos. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can click all of them. And then I can say done at the top. And then now they're going to be in my test folder right there. So there's all my Halloween folders. All my Halloween pictures. Now this is really a kind of a fun deal here, because if you put pictures in albums like this, for example, if kids do or you want to for a class, you can also show a slideshow like this. Right up at the top here on the right, there's a little slideshow button. I can click that, and now it's gonna airplay, there we go. And I can do some settings, there's some things at the bottom that say options, and I can choose a theme. So I've got Ken Burns right now, I can choose music.
I like how
can,
it makes it kind of sentimental to see your pumpkins.
yeah. And, you know, and so you've got some different options that you can do for your slideshow. And, so there you go.
Right.
Maybe I don't really like that theme very much, let's
Can you
try
add
it.
your own music?
You can add your own music, yes. So anything that's on this iPad, I can put on
Oh,
there.
okay.
And where's my slideshow now?
Standard.
I wanna turn that off.
State standard.
My slideshow. Done.
So that music is still running,
Based on
and why is that?
Oh, it's on my phone.
Why is that music running?
That's me, maybe?
Is it? Oh, it is, okay, it's not coming through the speaker. Oh, yay, okay, alright, I thought it was coming through the speaker. Okay, so that's how you make the albums. So if kids are making a presentation, it would be really, especially if you're teaching middle school or high school, you've got multiple classes using an iPad, I would put 5th period math, 6th period math, 8th period math, whatever it is, and then have them put all of their pictures in there so they can find them easily. And that's gonna be really important when we get to iMovie and you wanna have pictures available in iMovie. It will be so much faster for them to find their pictures if they're in an album. I would strongly recommend that. So, if you want to see this collection, you can see that I have this collection. It goes back to when I first got my iPad, maybe even before. I can even go back to years. I've got things from 2005 to 2009. These are all the pictures that I have stored on my iPad, and they're all by year, they're all by place. I can search by place. Now that's another thing that you have to enable in your settings, is that you have to enable location. If you don't have that turned on, then your photos won't record that. And that's totally up to you whether you want to know where you took that picture or not. So, you can search up on the top right. I can search by, let's say I know it was April 2012, and I maybe needed a space. There we go, there's April, let's go 2012. I might not have anything in April 2012 to be, oh, here we go. So I can search by date, I can search by location, so there's my 2012 pictures, I guess I had one. I can search by location, so let me see, let's see if I have anything from New Zealand. Yep, I only have one from New Zealand, that's my son standing in front of the college he attended. So,
Where did he go to school?
he went to school in Dunedin,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that was kind of fun. So that's, you can do that kind of searching. The other thing you'll notice, maybe you won't, let's see, let me get out of here. Okay, you can't see this because when I'm hooked to this, when I click on my picture, because I'm connected to this here, you're not seeing this. But up at the top, on the right, if you click on a picture, you'll see you've got a heart. That will put it in your favorites folder. There's a favorites folder built in there. The share button is there, and then you can delete it. There's a trash can, and then there's an edit button. Yes.
Every time I put a picture in a different place, so it's in my camera stream and it's in the date and it's in my favorites, is that just access to it?
Yes.
So I'm not
Open the
filling
pictures.
up my space
No.
anymore?
I
Nope.
honestly don't have any.
That's a
favorites.
really good
Because
question.
I don't have my favorites folder anywhere.
And like Stevie said, you know, you can't delete it from your collection, but it's not really 2 pictures on your iPad, so it's not taking up more space.
Okay.
Mark me as favorites, yeah.
It's kind of like your music. It's kind of like Gmail, when you put a tag on your Gmail, and you've got lots of tags on your Gmail, but it's not really putting it in any different places. I wish I could show you this, but, so I can also edit, and let me see if it'll go to the edit. Yeah, okay, it's really hard to see. Up at the top though, there was an edit button. Here, we're gonna get into editing photos. So I can edit photos. Over here, I've got some choices to edit my photos. So I've got enhancing, there's a little wand. I can enhance the color, so if I click that, it'll enhance it. I can crop it.
So mine says my photo is not editable.
And if it says it's not editable, does it give you an option
It
to
says
copy?
duplicate and edit.
Duplicate and edit, then you would do that.
Okay.
So does it never let you edit on an original, or? is
No, it doesn't, it will, but there are certain pictures, for some reason, and I'm not exactly sure why, it won't let you edit, so you have to duplicate and then you can do that. But the cool part is this, if you edit your photo and then you don't like it, even after you've closed out of the program, you can always go back to revert to original. For some reason, it always saves that original, so I think that's kind of a cool feature as well. So there's another one that's, I don't know, you can pick the different colors for your photo, so it could go to black and white. And then, this one here, you've got some color and light settings on the side. And the last one is more, so I can go to Sketch or I can go to, Photoshop Express from here. But I can do some minor editing in the Photos app itself. So I can say done, and it's saving my photo, but then let's see, I can go back here to edit, and up at the very top in the left, you probably can't see it, there's a little red button and it says revert, and I'm gonna hit revert. That'll take me revert back to the original, and I can go back to my original photo, so I haven't lost it, if I don't
Is that
want to.
in done or?
I don't seem to have many of the things we're talking
I
about.
know, I'm
on
on a
mine.
different.
You know, here's something that might happen. Are you guys updated to, but, oh, I was updated. I'm trying to get through.
Anything. I mean, I have ours.
So when I go to edit,
Isn't that cool?
so if you hit edit, and decide to use.
Okay, so yes, yeah, it's just mine's on the side,
Okay.
just because mine is this way instead of that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so you've got all those options.
Okay.
You've got those.
Thank you,
options.
sorry.
Yep. Nope. Did you find it? Okay, she found it, yeah.
Oh,
Rotate, yep.
and then my other thing is.
Okay.
Go back in.
So, we talked about, oh, let me just talk about the camera itself. I'm gonna get out of photos right now, because I wanna just talk really quickly about the camera. So I'm gonna go into the camera. You know that you can access your camera in a few different ways, right? You can access it from the camera app. So I can go to the camera app up here, right here, okay? I can also access it from, if I scroll up from the bottom, I can access my camera down at the bottom, right? And I can also access my camera, let's see if it works when I'm hooked to this thing here. Let's see if it will. So right down here on my lock screen, I can swipe up and access my camera there. Okay? So last night I was at a cross-country banquet, and I gave my husband my phone and I had to go use the bathroom, and I said, if our son gets up there to go do his thing, please take pictures. He says, oh, I don't know your passcode. I said, it doesn't matter. All you do is swipe up, and he didn't have to. He can still access my camera and take a picture. So, that's how you do that. Let me talk a little bit about the camera. Right here, you've got a timer. This is a really nice little deal here. You can set your timer to go off in 3 seconds or 10 seconds. And a lot of people don't even know there's a timer available on there. It's a really, really nice little feature. Especially when you're out, on a field trip and you want to get a group picture or something like that. I'm going to turn that off. The next one is called HDR. That means high dynamic range. And what it does, when we take a picture, the camera's always looking at a certain light and stuff, right? that's why some of your pictures are sometimes bleached out. And what high dynamic range tries to do, it tries to take a bunch of pictures and look at the different light settings inside those pictures, and then it combines the best ones and puts them into a picture. So that's what that is. It takes up a lot more space if you use that because it's taking like multiple pictures. So you can turn that high dynamic range on or turn it off, either way. Down here, you have some options. You have a time lapse. This is a really cool feature. I tried it and I thought, oh, that's great, but how would you set up your iPad? Like, for example, I was thinking about flowers. You know, how it would be fun to do a science experiment and do the flowers and stuff. You might not want to set it up that long because that would be days. But I was thinking today about butterflies because what happens is if you film for less than 2 minutes, I don't know how to explain this. It takes the pictures every so many beats per minute, whatever it happens to be, and then it condenses it into a time-lapse film. And so then if you do it over 5 minutes, it still condenses it into like a certain amount of seconds. And then if it's over 20 minutes, so the stuff inside your picture moves faster the longer that it's going. And so I'm gonna there's a little website that describes that. I'm gonna put that on those resources, so if you're interested in seeing that. So I was thinking today, our 3rd graders are doing butterflies. And so they got all these little chrysalises or whatever the cocoons and stuff. And I thought, you know, those kids are watching those things all the time. So when they see them getting ready to come out, they should set up the time lapse on the iPad and take a picture of that and then see how that works. It's really kind of cool. I was playing around with the time lapse a little bit. So time lapse is a really neat deal.
Much less educational, but you could set it up for field day.
Oh, that would be
You could send to
fun.
every parent like a 2-minute video of the whole field day.
That's right.
It's so funny.
That's right, they end up condensing it into like a 2 minute,
Yeah.
at the max, I think. So it's not
That'd be
taking up
really
all the
fun.
space on there. That would be hilarious. Or just take some pictures of the kids out on the
Yeah,
playground one
just
day.
recess would be really
Just
funny.
do that, just
And I'm
something just
sorry,
for
do
fun.
you have to be videoing and then it turns it into a time lapse?
So you have to be on this time lapse setting.
So you pick time lapse.
And then when you're doing it, so right here,
Like
I can
you
just
did?
do this right now, and I'm gonna just hit the red button, and then I can just move this around. And it's not gonna be great because I'm doing it so short of a time, but then I'll play it. And so here's our time-lapse photo. Oops,
Where are you
it's still
playing
loading.
it from?
There we go. Here we go.
So
And
do you
it just
have
went
to
right-
be,
Yeah, so there's a time lapse.
but my
It's
question
better
is,
the longer it goes.
but my question is, like, let's say it was field day, do you have to be filming that whole time?
You just set it on something.
Yeah, I would set it on something, yeah.
Okay.
Selfies.
But you, it
I don't
has to be
know.
running the whole time.
Yes, it does. It
Okay.
has to be running the whole time. So that's the time lapse.
a lot of whatever it is in your.
It doesn't though.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't because of the way it takes the pictures. It doesn't. So try it out sometime, just see.
I'm gonna go to recess tomorrow, I can't wait.
I know, I think it's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna set it up at the book fair.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll let you know how the
Of course,
book
the
fair.
next one is video.
Won't that be fun?
The next one's video, I think everybody knows about the video. The next one's a photo, and then there's also the square photo, which, you know,
Is a square.
is just a square.
That's not that.
That's the
You
only
can crop
benefit of
it.
it.
That's the only,
It just means it's a square.
that's right.
I always get scared when I'm on this one.
Well, I don't really like it either, because
Squares are
if you wanna
scary.
print out a 4x6, you know, you're not gonna have a 4x6. But it'd be nice for like, passport photos, cause they're supposed to be 2x2. So it'd be really nice for a passport photo or something like that. So, and then does anybody have panorama on theirs? Does anybody have panorama?
I do.
You do? See, you got a
I ju-
newer iPad.
I just took one to the classroom. It's great.
I know, panoramas are kinda cool, actually. Let me just show you a few, you guys will love these because you live here and you get to see this all the time. I absolutely love my panoramas. I bet everybody knows where this is too. Let's see. Anybody know where that is?
Camille knew.
Yeah,
Camille knew last.
Dyke Trail?
yeah, well, yeah,
Not quite the Dyke Trail, but
up there.
yeah, so it's that loop that, the Horse Ranch Park, that loop that goes, up the Dyke Trail, then you cut off and you go down towards it's the Lake Irwin Trail, I believe, and then you go down on you come back on the,
Ruby Anthracite?
Dark Canyon Trail,
Mhm.
yeah, so, but anyway, so yeah, I love panoramas. Anyway, my dad's yard. Okay, so that's, the camera. Let's see, what else did I wanna make sure I talked about here? We all know all those. Screenshots. Screenshots, everybody knows how to do a screenshot now, right? Really, really
So you're
important.
just on your camera and you just push the side button?
No,
You push the home button and the top on/off button.
Not on your camera. So like right now, if I want to take a picture of this.
Right.
Oh, I always do that by accident.
Yeah, you can do that, you'll
So
do that by
many
accident.
screenshots and stored.
Yes, and you can
No,
delete those.
I do it.
Shared, I shared this photo, I was messing around with this and making stuff of my son, and he would probably die if he knew that I had this up here right now. But I shared these pictures with him, and so you can go to that shared folder and see, you're seeing the shared folder, but if I go to the sharing, I can do a shared album right here, and then it'll ask me who I can name it, and then it'll ask me, let's just do test. And then I'm gonna click next, and then it's gonna ask me who I wanna share it to, and then I can share it to somebody. And so you can put photos in an album and share photos that way. So that's another nice little feature, and I'm not gonna create that.
Does it have to be someone, does it share via email, is that what it's?
Yeah, you're gonna send it
Two choices, doesn't it?
You can text
You
it.
can put it
You
on
can-
Facebook, you can Twitter it.
Yeah.
So if you are receiving it, does it just make a whole new folder in your
I don't
device?
think so, I think you would just, in your email, you would open it up. Let's send
And then
it,
it does add to it,
it does add to your,
if you accept it in your email.
oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, it does, but you can always delete them, alright. So, let's see, shared, I think we talked about that. Alright, some photo setting, let's talk a little, photo editing. So I showed you the photo editing actually in the photos, but there's some other kinda cool apps, and I know I have them here someplace. Here we go. One's called Aviary, and I don't think that this is on your iPads. I don't even think it's on these, because I didn't know if it was worth it or not. So what Aviary does is you can go to your gallery, or you can discover, but I'm gonna go to my gallery, and I can go ahead and pick a picture, and then see at the bottom, I've got all these choices. Enhance, effects, crop, lighting, color, sharpness, orientation, text. So I can put text on here. So if I put text on here, I type Will, that's who made this one, say done, I can move this over, and then I can add color and all that other stuff, and I'll say apply. You can also draw, you can blur things out, so I can blur out his mouth. And I'll say apply. And then I've got focus, vignette, stickers, so you can add stickers. Some of these cost money, so let's see. So I can put these little glasses on him. And apply. So, and then I've got some other things down here. I've got overlays and frames and red eye and splash. So it's a really cool, have you used this one before? Aviary's kind of a fun one to do some photo editing with.
Is it free?
It's free. So I'm gonna save that one. And then when you save it, it lets you do it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, email, text, and then more. Let's see what more does. I just actually wanna save it on in my photos, and I thought that was an option. I don't know, anyway, I'm gonna just save that one. Alright, so that's one, Aviary's one. Pic Collage kinda does the same sort of thing. So let's see, you can, this is one I was messing with yesterday. So let me go to, I'm gonna go down at the bottom, there's a new, oh no, that's not new, sorry. Pick collage. So pick collage, up at the top, I can come up to the plus sign and get a new template, and then I can get a picture, I can pick a photo, and I'm just gonna put another, come on, photo. Why are you not going? Seems to me I wasn't patient enough yesterday and it took a little time. But you can put photos in there, you can add text, you can do some stickers down there. There's backgrounds that you can put on here, so I can put a background on there. I'll make a darker one so you can see it. So there's different things that you can do here in Pick Collage as well. You can do grids, you can do shapes, all kinds of different things. They also have some stickers, stickers right here. And again, some of these collections cost money, as always. So down at the bottom, I can see that collection costs $1.99. I don't want to use that one. But there are some free ones, like the pizza one's free. So come on, are you going to go on there? I'm having a hard time getting it to go on there. But anyway, so that you can kind of see what, oh, there we go. There's my pizza. That doesn't look like a very good pizza. So Pick Collage is another one. Okay, maybe that's just a guac. There you go.
Way to recognize your food.
I know,
Your
sorry.
junk food groups.
Yeah. The one I really like is Pick Stitch, because if kids are doing a presentation and they have a lot of pictures that they want to put in here, they can find these layouts and then they can put pictures into these layouts. So for example, if you're doing a movie or something, an All About Me movie or something like that, and you don't want to have 15 different pictures, you can do some of these layouts and you can have pictures. So if I choose, for example, this one right here, and then I can just go ahead and pick, let's see, pick my picture. Come on. I'm just having all kinds of hard time getting stuff into these things here. There we go. And then I can crop it. I'm going to just say done. So there's my picture, and I can put that one in there. Then I can put this one in here. And I'm going to just say done. So you can see what you can do with this one. Let's see, I can drive that one in there, and I can say done, and then I can just put that in there. So that's what Pick Stitch does.
Can you put text in here?
And yes, you can. So down at the bottom, so let's see, I'm pretty sure you can. So let's go back here. Shadow, no, that's borders, don't want that. Corners, thought there was a place that you could put, oh, you know what? I don't think so. Here's what you have to do. You save this picture, and then you put it into Sketch, and then you can draw all over it. That's right. That's what you have to do with this one. That way you can put text on there. So the kids were doing a biomes unit or something like that. They could put different pictures in there and say, this is a biome of tundra or desert or whatever, and they could label them. After they put these pictures in there, put it into Sketch, label them all. So Pick Collage is kind of a cool one. And then there is one last one, and that's Photoshop Express. But I haven't played too terribly much with this one. Let's find a good picture to edit. I don't know. Let's pick this one right here. So there's my picture, and then down at the bottom, I've got the different colors that I could do, the washed out or the reverse. I could do cropping, and I can rotate. And so you've got a lot of different choices. This is not really Photoshop you can't really do the same kind of things with, as you can do with Photoshop, you can't do layers and things like that. But it does do basic, basic editing.
Is that free?
It's free. All of these are free.
Photoshop Express does have a fancy pay version, but
Do you know how much it is?
it's like $5.
That's not
It's
bad.
not terrible for like if you,
Photoshop, yeah.
right.
And
but
then
still
what can
isn't-
you
it's
do?
still not
Can you do?
Photoshop. It just has more capabilities. There's a couple like light different versions. There's like specifically for like changing colors and specifically for I don't know what you want to call it, but like changing the photo itself, like adding parts and taking away parts.
Oh, interesting.
But I think that's the advanced one.
But you can't do layers or anything like that.
I haven't tried the expensive, expensive is $5, but I haven't tried the $5 version one, but I know that there is one,
Okay,
because I've seen it.
okay,
But
cool.
there's a couple different
You've
versions
seen
that
it?
do different things.
Yeah, Photoshop is such a great program, I can't imagine that you could do everything that you could do in Photoshop for
Yeah, no,
$5.
no, right.
So,
right.
but,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
anyway, those are the best things to do. Seriously though, if you're doing projects with kids with the iPad cards, the best thing to do is to keep your photos organized, because otherwise it's gonna be too easy for them not to find their stuff, and it's easier when you have to delete them all for that project. They can find their pictures a little bit easier and they can delete those. It's just, if you've got 5 or 6 different classes using the iPads, it could fill up really quickly. So that would just be my suggestion. And the last thing is sharing photos. So we've got some choices on sharing photos. You have the iCloud Photo Library. One of the issues though with the iCloud Photo Library is you have to have an Apple ID. And so these iPad carts, you can't change the Apple ID on those. So that's really not an option, for us anyway. For you personally, that's an option. If you're using it, your teacher iPad, however you want, you can use it that way. You could use the iCloud photo sharing. But we can't really use it with the iPad carts. There's the shared albums that we talked with, and then you can also share with other apps. And I think somebody got into that, right? So there was a lot of sharing. Somebody said, oh, I could share this with, and it had all the different apps. Let me just go back to photos here really quickly. And find photos. And let's go to my albums. And let's find let me find this one here. So if I wanna share this, my share button, it didn't change. What is the deal with this thing? I'm sitting here thinking that you're seeing what I'm seeing, but you're not. Okay, so you're still not seeing it, cause up here at the top, I have that share button. So if I click the share button, let's see if you can see what shows up on the share button. Yeah, so when you get that share button, now I've selected that picture, and I can select as many pictures as I want to, and I can share it. I can share it with my mail, I can share it with messaging. You can see all the choices there. I've got lots of sharing. I could put it right into my Dropbox, I could put it into Sketch. There's a lot of different places that I can share. Cindy, did you have a question? Google Drive? Oh, who's picked the zip?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, so,
You're
that's,
there. I was
that's-
checking because she said.
no, that's perfect, that's a perfect segue, because the other option is AirDrop. And I wanna check these iPad cards, I don't know if AirDrop works on that. But if you have an iDevice, iPhoto, or whatever, people that are in range and have it turned on, they will show up here, and you can just click. Did you turn it off?
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh, here we go. So I can just click right here, I can pick the zip right here, see if this will go.
And I have to accept
And did you get one?
Yep.
And then she will get a little thing that says, will you accept this? And then she says accept,
You accept me?
and then it shares, and so she's got that picture now. So AirDrop is a really nice feature.
It's awesome.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, it is.
So,
So you
anyway,
just have to be on the same wireless network? Or
you
the-
don't.
No, you just
If you, well, with your iPad, you just have to, I think you just have to be wireless.
Does anybody, like Stevie, are you on AirDrop right now?
I'm on,
Play.
my phone is, but my iPad
Kelly,
isn't.
which
Because she's there.
wireless are you on right now?
I am on
That's in
GW, CBCS.
Hello.
I
I'll
don't-
change
I
and
don't
see.
think
That's
you
the
have to
Fight
be
Master
the
and Kramer.
You guys are everywhere.
That's a good question. I know on my phone, if you've got a phone signal, you can get it, you
Yeah.
know.
But I think you just need internet. I don't think you need Wi-Fi.
Don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change mine and I'll see.
Okay,
You don't have AirDrop. You just have AirPlay, which.
What's AirPlay? Same as AirDrop?
no.
Oh no.
AirPlay is what
No, that's,
we're gonna do with Reflector to project.
Oh.
AirDrop is sending something to somebody.
So where is AirDrop?
Where is it?
AirDrop, you won't get, so if you go down to the
It's
bottom,
you.
pull up the bottom of your flashlight.
will I see it? Yeah. So if you swipe up from the bottom,
What's going on?
does everybody see that on the bottom?
Jeez Louise.
Right here is where you have AirDrop. And for some reason, I have mine on contacts only. I don't want that. I want
What if we only
everyone.
have AirPlay?
So I'm gonna change my AirDrop to everyone, and now somebody should click a photo and send one to me.
But we only have AirPlay on the iPad.
So much.
What
You have
version do you have?
AirPlay.
Oh, we don't have
I think I
AirDrop.
have 8. I thought I
Oh.
upgraded to 9. How do I find out?
No, that's.
I have AirDrop on my
We
phone.
Okay.
have 9 and our AirDrop is missing,
Yeah.
but AirPlay.
You-
Yeah, I have AirPlay.
Your iPads probably are too old. Who has AirDrop on their iPads?
I have
Oh,
it.
she doesn't have AirDrop. We don't have it.
You do have it?
Okay,
She
it's the
does, I
newer
don't.
ones that have AirDrop.
No, it's not.
It's not?
We all upgraded to 9 and
No.
our AirDrop
No,
is
she
gone.
means literally the
No,
newer
the new
ones.
iPads.
Oh.
She means like the brand
The
new ones.
brand
that
new
the kids have.
iPads.
any of those people.
The
Oh,
newer
gotcha.
iPads, your
So that's
iPads are
normally
too
how you
old.
do it, though, it'd be
No, mine had it.
somewhere.
It did?
Yeah, and
AirDrop?
now it's not there anymore.
Okay, see, that's what you get. It says AirDrop, iPad would like to share a
How
photo.
it's
So
split
then
on
I
the
just say,
bottom?
it works.
She didn't even know she did it.
Yep, I'm gonna say accept,
I accepted it too.
and there it goes. And so now I have that
I
picture
don't know.
right there in my pictures. So, so yeah, we'll accept.
That's cool.
I used to
Hey,
have
Becky?
it on here.
Yeah.
What did you do?
My
Yeah, it used to be
Um,
split and now it's
AirDrop
not
and
split
everything
on.
on, but I'm
I
not.
hit the photo,
How do
You're
you-
not on, you know, wireless are you on?
and then I went to that arrow.
Kevin, I
And
changed
then
wireless.
all of a sudden,
Why doesn't
I
it?
changed
all the
it.
people who were on AirDrop.
What Wi-Fi should I be on?
And I just hit
How did I get
whoever's,
onto
I wanna
So-
send it to her.
I don't
Whoever
know,
that person is,
that
just
might
send
be
it
the
to her.
problem right there though, because
I don't know who that
GWSD
person- someone
staff
here
is
has this.
really bad.
GWSD.
Staff
No,
is really
I hit 3 at a time.
Try
I
a
just
different
went
one.
out.
So that's a really neat way
I
to
don't wanna
share,
send
and
it to
I
Kathy
don't
again.
know, like I said,
I'll
if the
send it to that
iPads
one person.
do or not. Does anybody know, has anybody used the iPads and know if they, the cards, and know if they share, they have AirDrop available?
You're using an iPad from the card. You
I
guys
did.
have.
I just did it.
Okay.
I did that Lego when it came up.
So they
Then
do
they
have
do.
it, cause
So
she's using
I
one.
just did,
Yay!
not that one,
Okay, then they do
I,
have it.
yeah.
Yay. Okay.
I just love that picture so much, I just.
Hi Perry.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
And you
Good,
know,
good to see you.
you know, Christy and
I'm missing
Lisa
you
were
down here.
having an issue. They're not showing up necessarily up here. I have to say, I have that issue sometimes too at my house. My iPad's sitting right next to my Mac, and it won't show up in my AirDrop.
But they're showing up, mine are showing
Up on yours, right. And sometimes they do that. They're not totally reliable, but it is a cool thing when it works. There was an app a few years ago before they had AirDrop called Bump.
Oh,
We used
yeah.
to use Bump all the time, so,
That's my kitty.
oh.
And that's a full-size stare.
Because I'm
It's a big kitty.
So, anyway,
No, I'm not getting shared with.
just want you to be aware that what I'm trying to do is on Edmodo, put in information in Edmodo. So I don't have access to like what you see when I put stuff in Edmodo. So when I go and make comments in your assignments thing, did anybody get that, or does anybody see that? When I put like a comment for your Edmodo, I gave you guys a grade because a lot of you didn't turn it in through Edmodo, but I still got the Google Doc and stuff like that. You can't turn that in. So I just went ahead and gave you a grade for it, and then if I was missing something, like if I was missing the QR code from somebody, I just sent a note, I didn't get your QR code, and I put that in through Edmodo.
Okay.
Is that okay? So if not, what I can do also is just kind of go back through that and just send out emails too. I can do that as well. But the only thing is, for the last class that we did, that was Keynote and or one of the assessment tools. The only person that I've had is the gentleman from the high school in Gunnison. He sent me a Kahoot that he made. But that's the only person that's done anything. So if you have something and you can't figure out a way to share it with me, just let me know. Just say, this is what I did, and then we'll see if you can't send me a link or something, and, you know, because it would be kind of cool to see
Kathy,
what you guys did.
are you okay with that taking a few more weeks, just because I don't
Of
have access
course.
to kids that often, so.
I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be.
Of course, of course.
Okay.
Like, I think the grades she told me were due December 10th or something like that. So I wouldn't really worry about it too terribly much unless you need to do it for your, I mean, if I put it aside, I forget, you know, and it's gone. So just, it's whatever you need to do.
So the second assignment was answering the question, some
Yeah,
questions?
That's
And
all
so
it
this
is.
is, this says assignment's not been turned in via Edmodo.
Right, so don't worry about that, but then did I give you a grade?
I don't know.
You're failing.
How do we check?
I would
So
check.
Okay.
Class 1 I got 10 out of 10.
Yep, and then so in
Class
assignment
two.
two.
They know this.
Oh, and you know what? Some people on assignment two,
Not turned in.
there was a little bit of a issue with assignment two. I didn't have a name place on there, so there was a couple people who didn't turn it in that there was no name.
Oh.
So, you know what, you know what, that's just a Google Doc thing, I think I'll
Way to
just
go.
say, we got it. Yeah, it was a math one, I know there was a math one, yep.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
the
sure
names
that
of
was
the
yours.
students who submitted.
Yeah, I know, don't worry about that, that was my bad. That was my
I'll put my name on everything else.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll remember to put in, that's what's a lesson, on Google Docs, on Google Forms, make sure you put a place for names, because, that was my bad. So, just really quickly, just really quickly, I just wanna talk about one more thing, because I know this comes up a lot, storing your photos. You've got a lot of photos on your iPad, and you really like them, and you don't wanna get rid of them, but you're running out of space on your iPad, because it's only a 16 gigabyte iPad. So what do? There's a lot of things you can do. You can store your photos in Drive. You can store them in Dropbox, you can store them in Evernote, you can store them in this thing called Documents, or you can store them in Google+. Now, if you store them in Drive and Google+, you're taking up your Google space, you get how many, 5 gigabytes?
Yeah, I filled mine up and had to pay, so.
Well, so no, you don't do that, Cindy. You fill it up and you get a new Google account and you.
I know, I just couldn't keep track anymore. I actually just played that game for a while.
Yeah, so, anyway, I mean, you can do whatever you need to do, but so when I put my websites together with all my travel photos, I had hundreds of photos, and I put them all in Google+, and then people can see them through Google+. So that's one way. The other way is to connect and upload to a computer. Now, I am going to do some directions on my website about this, because a lot of people ask me. So you plug in your iPad, you have to take the cable, plug in your iPad, you have to have iTunes on your PC, okay? Now, when you plug that in, the box pops up and says, what do you want to do? And you just say that you want to upload the photos or download the photos or transfer the photos, import the photos, and you can just import them right onto your computer, and you have them in a file. You can put them on a flash drive then, and wherever you want to do that, whatever you want to do. I will put directions on my website for that. The other thing is there is a free app out there. It's called Photo Transfer. It will also wirelessly transfer your photos to your computer. You might check that one out. And there's another one called Sync to Storage. And those are, I think they're both free, and it uses an app. to transfer those photos to a computer. And it can be a PC or a Mac, so you don't have to worry about that. So any of those ways to do that. And I'll try, like I said, I'll try to put some directions on my website to those as well.